All right, so let's jump right in. Today we're diving into something pretty puzzling, this whole situation with Kojima Ruriko. We've got an urgent transfer, then we've got her death. But the details are, well, kind of scarce.
Yeah, it's like, we've only got a handful of pieces of a very intriguing puzzle, right?
Exactly. And that's what makes it so fascinating, right? It's almost like a challenge to see what we can piece together from these little snippets we've managed to find.
And even with just these snippets, we can still learn a lot, you know? It's like a detective just using a couple of clues to start unraveling a whole mystery.
Yeah, I like that. So,
Uh-huh.
starting with what we do know, that phrase that keeps popping up, urgent transfer, makes you wonder what could have been going on that was so urgent, right? What kind of situation even leads to something like that?
Right, right. Well, if we think about the broader context here, urgent transfers typically fall into, I'd say, a few main categories. Medically speaking, you could be dealing with a critical condition, needing highly specialized care, something like that. Then there's the legal angle, maybe witness protection or some kind of high-profile investigation where someone needs to be moved quickly and quietly. But, your sources mentioned Ruriko worked in, what was it? Her field of expertise, right?
Right, right, she did.
So in that field specifically, an urgent transfer could mean, well, let's see, it could involve explain potential scenarios related to her work, for example. You actually see this kind of thing play out sometimes in, give examples from similar situations.
Oh, yeah. That's true. I hadn't thought about it in terms of the specifics of her work. That definitely adds another layer to it. And then, of course, there's the fact that she died. Does the timing of her death, like in relation to this transfer, does that give us any clues?
Well, that is the big question, isn't it? I mean, was the transfer itself an attempt to save her life? Or was it, something else entirely? And the thing is, your sources don't really specify exact dates, so it really leaves us in this space where we can only speculate.
It's so frustrating, right? Like we're trying to connect these two things, the transfer and her death. Were they directly related or was it just some strange coincidence?
Almost like a chicken and egg situation. Could be that the transfer was initiated because of, let's say, a health crisis that ultimately led to her death. But then again, maybe the transfer was for some totally unrelated reason and then, something else happened afterward. Without more specific details, it's really hard to say for sure.
So basically, we end up with these major unknowns. What was the reason behind this urgent transfer in the first place? How did Kojima Ruriko die? And then, like, the big one, were these two events even connected?
Yeah, and that brings up another really important question. What more information would we need to really make sense of this situation? If we were like truly investigating this, what specific details would be most helpful to uncover? I think, that's where the real deep dive begins searching for those missing puzzle pieces that can bring the whole picture into focus.
So for all of our listeners out there, keep those questions in mind. What other information would you want to know? We may not have all the answers today, but hopefully this has given you a little more to think about regarding this whole Kojima Ruriko situation. And who knows, maybe with a little more digging, we'll uncover some of those missing pieces ourselves.
You never know what you might find when you start looking closer.
That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been another episode of DRM News Global. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll catch you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.